And basically now the dirty secret is out in the open. The energy transition of Europe was built on cheap fossil fuels from countries and areas outside of Europe, primarily Russia. So this was something that was sold to the people. Oh, we go green, we go wind, we go solar. When in fact we did that, but by the same token, outsourced our energy to other countries. And the people have been, and that's a strong word, I know, the people have been lied to, and now we gradually get the bill for the mistakes of the past. And the worrisome thing is, one could have said, all right, we tried this and now we switch back to reality. But we have been so wedded to the ideological idea, the ideological content of the energy transition, of net zero and all these other things that come with it, that we are unwilling to go back to what would be the only solution, which is produce energy on our own, whether it's nuclear, whether it's natural gas, and all these other opportunities that would be there. So I'm worried that these things will get worse before they get better, because what you see a lot in the media, everybody talks about the winter, but we also need energy in the summer, right? It's true that the heating problem is less in the summer, but we still need energy for the industry. So you can say, well, look at this, we survived the winter, which, by the way, is a very low bar for the supposedly richest area in the world. But even if we survive winter, which I'm sure we do, it's going to be an industrial wasteland. So that is not a particularly encouraging outlook for the future. Yeah, it seems to be one of the continuous characteristics of Germany that suicide in the name of an ideology really seems to be ingrained into German history. But the problem I see is it has spread. The philosopher Leo Strauss once said, there can be a situation in which a country uses the military conflict but wins the ideological conflict. And it sometimes seems as that is true with Germany. Pretty much the entire West has signed up to this, green boondoggle program that did originate in Germany. And again, I'm sure a lot of this was well-intended. I'm sure a lot of this was driven by sincere and honest ideas and beliefs that the world is on the brink of collapsing. But now we see that the path and the ideas that green movements and smaller, even more radical movements have proposed is not working. And I think this is bleeding through in other areas as well. The danger of being so imbued and stubborn in one's ideology, of course, has problems that go beyond the energy sector, right? I mean, this is a larger program. I think something that the left has realized more than the right. Just think about it. Think about how many environmental movements talk about we need to abandon capitalism. We need to abandon the entire system. So they realize that this is broader than just the environment for them in ideological terms. While we on the right, if I'm allowed to say we, or those, let's say, who are further on the right, still think we're talking about the particulars of one sector, like, oh, this is only about energy. No, this is a conflict of ideologies, right? A conflict of, you can call it a cultural conflict of completely different worldviews. You saw it in something you played before, right? The new Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, and her reaction to Emmanuel Macron. She's absolutely right, right? The biggest problem for Africa is not climate change. It's climate policies driven by the West that deny them access to energy. Give Africa energy and people most likely have no longer a reason to leave. And again, this bleeds over in all other areas as well. This is a larger ideological struggle. And I think those who analyze it correctly in the realm of energy, I think we have to start to see the bigger picture. We cannot deal in these peculiar things. We have to look at the larger picture as such.